Hey everyone, Professor Snart checking in. Me audio, but video just of our class this time, or me clicking through our class a little bit rather than just me as a talking head. So we have finished up our second unit then. So we're just looking at our due dates here. We finished up Unit 2 on Thursday, the 23rd. It's Friday morning when I'm recording this. So we have a fairly quick turnaround for Unit 3 on Monday. Again, we compress fairly quickly or turn around fairly quickly some of these early units so that we have more time looking ahead to our workshop units. So if you look a little bit further down to like Unit 5, for example, the turnaround is not quite so fast. But here we move from Unit 2 to Unit 3 pretty quickly. I'm really a little bit concerned, to be honest, about the number of people who didn't complete the Unit 2 assignments, either on time or fulfilling all the basic requirements, like certain aspects of the main post, or of course replying to students. So the grading, I hope or I think, is relatively easy and generous, but obviously you have to do the basic requirements and complete the assignments on time, otherwise you don't get any points. So really be sure that you're plugged into the course here, and if you're having problems for whatever reason, by all means be in touch with me. Anyway, let's take a look then at Unit 3, which, a little bit like Unit 2, has us thinking about some of the basics of kind of being a writer, thinking in those terms of using the tools of the creative writer to work with, like memory, as we did for Unit 2, or considerations for our, our motivations for writing, like the other part of Unit 2 had us looking at. And so Unit 3 is really fundamentally about metaphor or simile or basic kind of comparisons. And it's sort of that comparative way of thinking that's really fundamental to any kind of creative writing. So there's a great little video clip here from a movie that I haven't seen the entirety of for quite a while. It's pretty old, called Renaissance Man, but he does a great job of talking about metaphoric or what's called analogic language, the language that creates analogies or comparisons between things in a sort of entertaining way. Then there's good old Forrest Gump, who provides us with one of what has really sort of become the prototypical simile here, as painful as it is to now hear for some of us, this life is like a box of chocolates. And then the main assignment here is for you not to invent a metaphor or simile of your own, but to find one that you've heard somewhere from a book or movie, or song lyrics are a really great source for these kinds of things. Provide some sort of, the metaphor or simile itself, of course, but then maybe a video clip like I've done with the Forrest Gump thing, or some visual image kind of aspect to it. And then what I'm really concerned that you do here is make sure that you use this little formula that I've got here, the abstract thing is being compared to the concrete thing. Make sure you actually fill that out and plug that in as part of your post, so you can really think about how the analogy works. And then again, the last part of this is to reply to a couple of other student posts. Be sure that reply is more than just, hey, I liked your simile, or, oh, I like that band too, but really kind of develop beyond that, like, what is it about that particular metaphor or comparison that you find evocative? Does it make you think like the best kind of metaphors do or comparisons do? Does it make you think about this everyday thing in a completely new way? Sort of the opposite of a cliche. A cliched comparison doesn't even make us think about the things being compared anymore. The comparison has no kind of evocative value for us, and that's what makes them cliches, but also why they make such bad writing, because they don't do anything to engage the reader's attention or imagination or intellect, which is of course what the best metaphors do, or similes, or whatever kind of comparison. They all fall under that same sort of comparative language umbrella. So again, kind of a fun unit in terms of thinking about some of the writerly language that we already like, rather than necessarily creating our own. But again, really pay attention to the requirements here, so the time that you're investing in the class is actually paying off in getting full points for the assignment. If you have any questions or concerns about, again, the class or specific assignments or anything that's going on, by all means be in touch with me, but otherwise I'll talk to you soon.